We're joined by Lotte Moore again today. We saw Lotte at the launch of her book, Lotte's War. And today we're going to talk about Lotte's book that you wrote about a year and a half ago called Marvellous Mavis. So without kind of spoiling the ending for anyone, tell us the brief outline of the story.
Well, she is an extraordinary woman. She's quite elderly, and it starts off with a moment when she's very happily married, and then something awful happens. I just have to say what, because it's the beginning of her freedom. And Keith comes in and says, "Hi, how are you?" And he sits down in a chair, and she cooks supper. "What do you want, peas, Keith?" And she goes in the room, and he's dead. And she can't believe it. She said, "Keith, what are you doing? You can't be dead." Anyway, she buries him in the garden, so she's nearby, and she decides to have freedom and go and spend all his money in New York. She has the most marvellous time in New York, and she throws her money about, and she meets a man who thinks that she's very interesting, and he doesn't love her, he just thinks she's an amazing, crazy woman. And he comes to live with her and writes. He's a marvellous novelist, and while he's writing, she takes him round southern England, and he's always laughing. And sadly, she then goes into a sort of home, and she gets the other old people to do all sorts of tricky things and rather naughty things. And the ending to this story is so wonderful. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but everybody dresses up, and I wish it could be a film. It is very, very funny.
Sounds fantastic, Lotte. So tell us about Mavis's character and what inspired you to write about Mavis.
Because it's a sort of challenge, and my aunt Lala was like this. She wasn't exactly defiant, but she was very cheeky sometimes, and so is Mavis. And it's very contagious when people laugh and do something slightly cheeky as well. And the best story of all is when she was lying in bed with a bad heart. And the doctor came and said, "Oh, Lavender, you don't look very well." "I'm fine," she said. "I've had cups of tea." And she lost her glasses, so they pulled the bed away, and there were all the pills that she'd been given by the doctor for heart failure, and she hadn't taken one.
No.
And she looked up at the doctor and said, "See, I'm still alive." And that was the sort of person she was. All the pills all over the floor, and the doctor couldn't believe it. He just walked out and said, "Gwen, Lavender, I can't believe you're still there." And she didn't ever take a pill again.
So Lavender was your auntie. What are the similarities between the character of Mavis and Lavender?
Oh, a lot, but I do embellish it because it's fabulous writing about somebody. You can do any crazy things. But because she's a little bit sort of crazy, it doesn't matter. And she laughs at herself, which so many people cannot do, old or young. They can't laugh at their stupidity in a way. And so I hope it gives people a reason to just do what they really feel instead of always hiding it and not saying what you think. And the marvellous thing about children is that they say what they think and see, but us old people, we don't half the time. We don't dare because it might hurt somebody. And the only remembrance in a way with Alzheimer's is that if somebody says something, an Alzheimer person doesn't care. Lala didn't used to come to tea ever on Sundays. She'd say, "Oh yes, I'll come," and she'd come 10 days later. We minded, but she didn't care at all that she hadn't come to tea. So there was a slight element in age that if you don't remember, you don't know you're hurting people. And so I did this mixture of her being extra crazy so that she could be flamboyant and happy with it. And it's a crazy book, and I'd love to write another one like it, but I'm going to try and write one for children with slightly more serious things about Alzheimer's. But when you say Alzheimer's, it puts people off a bit. Mm-hmm. So it isn't a book about Alzheimer's. It's just a crazy, happy, mad woman. A bit like me, a little bit.
So going back to Mavis now, is there going to be a sequel?
Yes, I've got a wonderful idea because a doctor comes in to examine her and he finds her so much better mentally. Yeah. And there's a new pill which makes Alzheimer's incredible. It just makes it go, disappear. Mm-hmm. So she becomes a member of Parliament for second-hand clothes shops. I think that's so funny.
I love that. Well, we look forward to the sequel, but Marvellous Mavis is obviously out on sale now. Where can people buy it?
Oh, on Amazon or in Waterstones. Okay. Or they can ring me up anytime and get it from me, which I'd love to give them and sign the book. I'd be very thrilled to do that.
Well, Lotte, it's been great to see you. Thank you for telling us all about Marvellous Mavis and where people can get it from. And we look forward to seeing you soon at the launch of your next book.